Hello, everybody. As you can see, the sun is now up. My second win has come. And we are down to our final segment. We just talked to Maya the Dawn with Nails and Novels, and that was so fun. And now we will be talking to the Cosmic Queen, Rakiyah. And so let me send her the invite. Let's send her the invite. Hopefully, we don't have any technical difficulties. But yeah, this is our final. Hello. Our final segment, and then I will be joining the after party. Whoop, whoop. I will be joining the after party over at Pink Riot Comic Show. They are the ones who created our bingo board. So all the social media posts that you're seeing of people crossing off bingo, they completely came up with that, and they are super cool. So okay, I'm accepting Rakiyah's request. Hopefully, oh my gosh, it worked. Oh my goodness, hi.
Hi, can you hear me? Because I got like these little
Yes,
headphones in, and I just want to make sure it sounds okay.
yeah, I can hear you. And your hair,
Amazing.
you look like a
Let me just straighten
waterfall.
this out.
So cute.
Thank
Okay, so
you.
for anybody who doesn't know, please tell the people who the Cosmic Queen Rakiyah is.
Hi, everybody who's tuning in. My name is Rakiyah, and I am a alternative R&B and rock artist from Jersey, and also a book nerd. So happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me, by the way, Jackie.
Oh, of course. And that what a modest intro. Because from what I know, aren't you a rocket scientist or some kind of engineer? Um,
Yeah.
you studied abroad in Korea. You speak Korean.
hmm
You have a YouTube
hmm
channel, and now you're this musician blowing up.
Full-time musician now.
Like, please, you gotta tell us the whole.
Elaborate, get into it, get into
How
it.
did you go from where you began to who you are now? Because I was looking at your stuff and I was so inspired because there's a certain art to rebranding and pivoting that not a lot of people can grasp, but you've done it so beautifully. So,
Thank you.
yes.
Yes, okay, so I mean, I was an engineer. I went to college for engineering, and at the time, I had a long college career. Like it took me a couple years to make sure I was able to finish and like keep going and paying for school. So at the time, I went to school for industrial engineering. I personally, it wasn't my thing. I
Yeah.
realized I didn't really like industrial engineering as much, but I was already like hella deep into my undergraduate year. So at the time, I think I ended up coming across like a K-drama. One of my old coworkers, I was working at the time to part-time to go to school, pay for school. And a coworker had put me onto a K-drama. And at the time, I actually did not know anything really about Korea at all, like South Korea at all, or Korean culture. And so she was like, "Girl, you gotta watch this K-drama." And I was like, I was like, I don't know about that. But she was like, "No, you really gotta watch it." And so she put me onto this really, really old classic K-drama called Boys Over Flowers. I don't know if anybody's watching. You know of this K-drama. But it's
Yeah.
fun. It's super cute. It's funny. It's an old one. And I was like, you know what? This is pretty good. I don't know. I like this corniness. And ever since then, I was like getting more and more into K-dramas. And to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm bored at my desk. Let me pick up a new hobby and interest. I heard the language and I was like, this sounds very interesting. And so I taught myself. I started like free resources. You know, YouTube University is the place to go. And I found just different um, Korean teachers or Korean lessons online. I was using talktomeinkorean.com, which, if anyone knows Korean language or they study Korean language, is a very, very popular free platform that teaches non-Korean speakers the Korean language. And at the time, I was studying and teaching myself at my desk, and it started to really pick up for me. I guess the beginner language in the beginner stages, it was really working out. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. I don't know
Mm,
who's gonna watch it at the time, but I was like, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel about my language journey. You know, teaching yourself a language is not easy, especially in Asian language. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a YouTube channel, share my journey. And so I made a channel all about like how I was studying Korean, how I was teaching myself language, what resources I was using, tips and tricks. My channel is still up. It's just kind of rebranded, but some of those old videos are still on there. Um, and then it kind of took off unbeknownst to me. And it grew and grew and grew. This is before I feel like K-pop got as popular it is now. So it was still like a niche audience. And I was a Black woman, so I was kind of nervous about putting myself out there to do this thing and not really be understood, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times Black women get forced into a box of a lot of different stereotypes. And I've always been like against being put in a box. I was like, I don't care. This is what I like. This is what I'm into. I'm still pro-Black. I'm gonna do this thing and show the world what I'm doing. And I ended up finding other Black YouTubers
mm,
first. And I was like, oh, it wasn't many. I think at the time it was like three. Megan, well, now she's Megan Moon. She was Megan Bone at the time. Kenny JD, a good friend of mine as well, and
mm,
Whitney Bay. There were only three Black women I found at the time years back who
mm,
were living in Korea or speaking Korean or teaching themselves Korean. And I was like, you know what, representation really does matter because I felt like when I saw them, it gave me kind of like the courage to do it myself. And so I joined, I joined in that little bubble
mm.
and it grew and grew. My university found out and he was like, you should do our study abroad program. And I was like, oh, wait, I never thought about that. And I had like a full ride, full scholarship to study in Seoul, South Korea for like 2 years. And that was like a very major, impactful time in my life, the good and the bad in the experience. And when I came back to the US, I was working as an aerospace engineer at that time, which was a
That is,
really big deal because I was like, what?
yeah.
I really segued myself into aerospace. And it really mostly happened because of my experience in South Korea and the fact that I spoke Korean. So it was like on my college resume, and they were like, explain more about this. And the more I talked about it, the more it kind of opened doors for me. And I was able to actually get into aerospace engineering, aeronautical engineering to be specific. And after I came back from South Korea, I did like a EP while I was there. And I'm working as an aerospace engineer in Texas. The pandemic happened, and during the pandemic, while I was working, I realized I really didn't want to do this anymore. I didn't want to be in the industry anymore, and I decided to quit. Let my boss know, let my family know, like, guys, I know I finally made it, but like, this is not what my heart really wants to do.
Mm.
I'm super creative, and I just took a big leap of faith on myself, quit, and went to being a musician full time, and to the point where we are here today. So it's been a journey for sure. It's been a journey.
Like a novel. Your life is a novel.
Kind of do feel a little unreal, but it's exciting. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
I love that, like, so 2020 was like a horrendous year for everybody, but also it was a year of like, you were forced to really reckon with yourself and like think about what do I actually want to do? Because it's
Right.
all down. Yeah. And I love that your choice is like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I want to be a pop star. Like I want
Right. I was like, I think I want to be a star. And everybody's like,
to, yeah. And
I
then
mean,
look,
not to say they didn't believe in it, but that's not an easy, this has not been an easy journey whatsoever, but I love it. I'm super happy. I have no regrets. I'm in it for the long run, and I learned so much about myself doing it. So it's been dope. It's been pretty dope.
I love that. I love your entire aesthetic. It's definitely giving like sci-fi, fantasy, in
You
background.
already know.
Tell me, what story are you like building um through your outfits, your aesthetic, your sounds, your lyrics? What is the story that you're telling us?
Right. So I'm an alternative girly, as most people know. So I love the whole alternative space and what it has to offer. Being a nerd, I was really into sci-fi and fantasy at an early age. And
Yeah.
so when I decided to pivot from engineering to go into music, I kind of just leaned into what was already authentic to myself, which was sci-fi, fantasy. And so being a storyteller, I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna make music, that's one thing, but I think I need to tell a story so that this whole journey kind of makes sense to me and to the listeners. And so I decided to go into it with kind of like a futuristic space lore, of course. And I'm currently about to drop this year my debut album, which is the trilogy of this whole story. So I released two EPs during the pandemic up until now. And my character is kind of like my personal creative alter ego named the Cosmic Queen. So she
Yeah.
kind of is like this ethereal cosmic being that I transform into. So for my first EP, Into the Cosmos, it was really
Mhm.
good. You should definitely check that out if you haven't. I
Yeah.
ventured off
The
into
awesome.
space. Right. I ventured off into space. To find love, kind of. So it was like this the start of my love, cosmic love odyssey journey. And at that time, that project kind of represents like the younger me in love, or like being naive and not really understanding what love, all that comes with love, but like the excitement on it. So, I leave Earth, I go into space, and I go there going after love, this guy that's also there in space, up until the second EP, which is called The Cosmic Queen. And that's where I introduced my character. So I kind of evolved in space where I become more confident, more dominant, more sexy, more in control, and where I'm like kind of like the queen of the cosmos as a character. So
Yeah.
I transformed completely kind of from human to this ethereal being. And it's been such a really cool story to tell throughout like my whole aesthetic from like space until now. And the trilogy, the end of this series, from my upcoming album, The Cosmic Queen kind of experiences the other sides of love, which is heartache, heartbreak. And so through heartache and heartbreak, she kind of come crashing back down to earth in hopes to kind of heal herself and what she's going through, but she's kind of really angry and going on this path of revenge. So the kind of aesthetic you see me bringing onto my rollout is kind of shifting from space to, because she's on Earth now, and is a little bit
Mhm.
more darker because again she's kind of upset. It's like mixing Harley Quinn with a Kill Bill concept in this old like comic book anime world building I've been doing. So I'm really, really excited. I think my goal of this character that I've been introducing to the listeners and to what the album is going to talk about now is really just the evolution of myself through love. You know what I mean? I had beautiful love. I've had heartaches. I had my heart broken. I've been angry. I've been on a path of revenge, or also reflection and healing and knowing my self-worth. So I think the whole trilogy, I really just wanted to show that aspect of myself as a Black woman, that like it's all a whole bunch of beautiful experiences, and there's also shit that's not great, but like you can still get through it because you're better than that. Like I'm better than that. And so I just kind of been putting it into my character, like whatever I felt like I couldn't be outside myself, I just put it into like my musical character. Because I used to be really, really shy. A lot of people may not tell because I come off maybe like confident, but I used to be really, really shy, very timid, very nerdy. And I think the arts allow me to express myself differently that words wouldn't allow me to express. And so music has just been like this really beautiful gateway of expression, I think, for me,
Yeah.
to tell my story and tell my truth. And so I just put that in the music. I put that in the music. The music is it's been about like being lovey, being sexy, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
all the upcoming music is also like the sad parts, the heartaches, the frustration, being trying to get my lick back, you know what I mean? Being that bitch again. But also
Yeah.
like reflecting, you know what I mean? Like I have a song out now that's called Truthfully, which is gonna be on this album. And it's like a whole anthem about like you deserve better. And I'm singing that to myself, but I'm also singing it to the listener. Like you deserve your peace. You deserve all the love that you think you deserve. Like don't let anyone like make you think otherwise. And so it's been dope. It's really been dope to just be myself, express it to this character through my aesthetic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everybody's not gonna get it, and that's okay. I don't think I care anymore about what people understand or don't understand or like or don't like. This is who I am, and I get to be myself unapologetically. And ever since I started leaning more into my alternative side, I've been meeting others like myself or other nerds like myself. And whether you love anime, K-pop, K-dramas, or you're a bookworm as well, like we're not alone. And so I just try to make sure that I add to being another Black woman as representation in the spaces that I'm in within music, alt spaces, and like reading and all that other good stuff.
Yeah. Anyone who doesn't vibe with what you got going on is like weird. because I'm so serious. Everything is pristine. Like every image I see, I'm like, I see the story, I see the vision like down. Like
Thank you.
when you said like the Kill Bill and like the cosmos and like you can just tell. Like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love like
Thank you.
I love the heavy metal. I so good.
Yeah,
And
it's been dope.
you would never, if you told me that you were signed to like some major label, I would believe it because everything is like,
I appreciate that. I really, really do. I've been independent this far in my career. I'm still currently independent. And so it's been a lot to learn when you're independent. But one of the amazing things I do think you get from being an independent artist is the creative freedom and expression. You know,
Mhm.
there's no one kind of like being in control of that or trying to tell me what I need to do and need to be. I have to kind of just lean into myself and I show up because I show up for myself. I'm gonna put my best foot forward. And I love my art. I love what I do. So I'm gonna try to make it look the best way it can. And I'm always
Yeah.
editing my images or like I'm creatively directing. Like I'm so hands-on in my entire career and process. Um, so for me, it feels like my baby. Like it really does feel like my baby. Like this album, I've been working on it for 3 years. It feels like my baby, like my thing. And
Mhm.
so it's so much passion in it, I think, being independent. I could do like I'm running off of passion. That's,
Yeah.
that's kind of what you're running off of. You're not running off of like a whole big team or you're not running off of a whole bunch of, money. You're running off of pure passion. Like you don't wake up to like the biggest opportunity sometimes or, streaming don't really, it's a whole thing to it. So when you see people independently still working like their ass off, it's pure passion. Like that is I will
Mhm.
still wake up every day, even if I didn't, have make a living off of what I do. I will still do it every day because I love it that
Yeah.
much.
I feel you.
Mhm.
That's how I be feeling about stuff. And I've also done a lot of random stuff. And
Right?
that
Listen,
yeah.
you gotta
And
do it all.
people have asked, like, what keeps you going? It's like, I don't know, like something inside me wants
Just
me.
yes,
Yeah.
wants
And
you to keep going.
so that. As you were describing like the story that you're telling through your music and your outfits and aesthetics, I started thinking, have you ever thought about creating like a comic book? Because we actually had Chuck Lightning from Wonderland.
Mm.
Yeah, he wrote the Arc Android comic that stars Janelle Monáe, and so
Janelle names, right?
yeah, I feel like that's like such a great pairing, like comics and like or novel companions or like something like that. So would you ever
Mhm.
make like, a comic with your character? Because I feel like that would be
Hell yeah.
oh,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Without a question. Like I think it's something in my future, you know what I mean? As of right now, I'm just taking it day by day to
yeah.
execute the work. And then I think I have a lot of dreams and goals when it comes down to my artistic expression. And fingers crossed and hoping that, whether it's a graphic novel or a comic book or even like a short story book, like I think that's something that I'm going to work towards. And I know it's going to happen. When? I don't know when, but uh,
Mm.
I feel like it's on the horizon for me, for sure. I would love that. I feel like that'll be so dope. Because I'm like a whole character, so I feel like it works perfectly. Like
Yeah.
I really think it
No,
works. So
it really, really would. Have you made like so this is not book related, but have you animated like artwork of yourself, like gotten things animated? Because I could see your character as like a cartoon even. Like,
mm, I have not had the opportunity yet to have like myself and my work and animated.
mm,
Um, but it's definitely something that like I've been really, really, really interested in. And so in the meantime, like I've been like saving up to pretty much do this whole album and like pay for all the things that come with like being an artist.
mm,
And so saving up to commission others and work with others to kind of bring my character and vision to life is something I really, really want to do, whether it's an animation or a graphic novel, you know what I mean, or a
mm,
comic book. Like I really love working with people more and more now as I've been growing in my career. So like I'm excited to do that.
yeah,
And super interested and open to anyone who's like as just as down as me. But I want to make sure like I pay people for their time and their talent and their work. So like I'm saving up the coins, but it's
Yeah.
coming, y'all. It's coming. It's coming.
I
I know it's coming.
can't wait to read it because I already know it'll be litty.
It's gonna be so
Okay,
good. It's gonna be so
so speaking of storytelling,
good.
books, graphic novels, anything that's like the pages that you flip, what inspires you or has inspired you and your aesthetic and your storytelling ethos, like what books really do it for you?
Okay. Interestingly enough,
Yeah.
I think my storytelling, I mean, it started, okay, so even though I'm alternative, I'm very spooky. I'm into the spooky realm of art.
Mm,
And so at a younger age, I was reading a lot of different novels or books. I mean, I grew up on Harry Potter. I'm no longer really a supporter, me personally, of J.K. Rowling, but I did grow up reading that, and I think that was my gateway into the fantasy realm of reading as a young Black girl. And then as I got older now, I've been exposing myself to Black writers, and I feel like I have not gone back. Like I rarely will
mm,
read anything that's not written by a Black woman or a Black person. Um, and so I've been doing my whole character kind of very authentically myself.
mm.
But because I love reading, I think the skill of storytelling definitely has been inspiring me. Um, my most recent reads in the last 3 years that has impacted the way I storytell, I want to storytell. Um, I loved, I don't know if you read it, but it's Bloodmarked and Legendborn by Tracy
No,
Deonn.
yeah, I haven't read them, but
Girl.
everybody raves. Yeah, everyone raves about them.
Listen, I love me. I love me a YA novel. Like, don't, I read other adult fantasy books, but sometimes it'd be the YA novels that be hitting for me. And I think seeing the way Tracy Deonn writes the main character, as a young Black girl in a world of magic,
Mm,
it gave me a whole new perspective because again, I'm not used to seeing Black people or Black women being the center of these fantasy or sci-fi stories as often. And so
yeah,
reading that, I was like, oh, we literally have a story to tell and we can mix it within magic or mix it within the fantasy world or sci-fi world. And so when I was leaning further into my story, I just felt more comfortable going further and further being, leaning into sci-fi and fantasy. I like both. So I don't know if it makes sense to others, but I feel like you can tell I mix sci-fi and fantasy
yeah.
together. And I
We
just be like, oh well, I'll put them together. So like Tracy Deonn, reading Beasts of Prey. I've read Aces of Spades not that long ago. I'm not home right now because if I was, we'll be in my whole little library. But um, Children of Blood and Bone, like I've just been exposing myself and reading really amazing sci-fi and fantasy novels written by mostly Black women so that I can see what our perspective like is written through these types of stories and then it kind of enhances how I tell my story as a fellow Black woman. So I
yeah,
think it definitely helps. I definitely think it helps how I do the storytelling, but as far as maybe being inspired for my actual story and my character, I don't know. I think it's been so many different things that kind of like contributed to that.
yeah,
Being into anime or like comic stories or anything like that, I think those probably played a big part in how I
mm,
tell my story. But the stories are all relatable deep down. We all have love. We all, messed around. We've gone back to things we shouldn't be going back to, or people we shouldn't be answering to anymore. We've all tried to, have a stage where we try to like maybe get our lick back. Like all of those stories are real experiences, but the way I'll express it is through this creative storytelling route. And I know that growing up reading books definitely impacts the way I storytell as well, if that
yeah.
makes sense.
You know what? Your vibe, and it makes perfect sense, but your vibe reminds me of it's not with like a one-on-one like one-on-one
Hmm.
comparison. Invader Zim. I don't know why. I feel like she watched Invader.
Wait, but I love that though.
Okay.
Wait. Come on. I, I like that though. Hmm.
Yeah.
I would never thought of that.
Yeah. I don't
What
know.
made you say that?
I don't know. Maybe it's the space thing, and then when I think of Invader Zim, like I think of like this range of emotions of the character vengeful, but also like confused, but also
Confused.
and so it's like going through these whole emotions, but in like a little angry alien body. So
She's like, you mad? I guess at least in this in this upcoming album, yeah, Shorty is definitely mad, but still, regardless, I see the whole connection now. Like having these uh very powerful emotions, but kind of still having these other human aspects to myself or to my
yeah,
character, I think is the baseline of what I really want to show people is that yeah, I my characters can be ethereal or the queen of the cosmos, but I was still just as human and I still experience and feel all ranges of emotions and I need to still
yeah,
understand how to process them, but I get to do it in this fun kind of mad, angry way, vengeful way.
yeah, yeah,
And so I'm having fun in it. You know what I mean?
yeah. I love that.
Everybody got to have a sword every now and then. You know what I mean?
So,
Hey,
where do you see your story taking you as Rakiyah?
you know what? I've been thinking about. I'm so locked in on the present. I used to be very, very focused on the future a lot. I think the last couple of years, especially during the years the world was kind of closed for the pandemic, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I just quit being engineer and now I'm full-time artist. I'm new here. I don't have no support, no, you know what I mean? I didn't have no support, no team, no guidance. And so I was very, very confused. And I
Mm,
did the best I could. I was dropping projects, I was doing photo shoots, I was editing everything. And it led me focusing on the future so much where I
yeah.
think the last 2 years now, we're going into the third year, in my opinion, I feel like I'm more so locked in on the present. And so because I'm so happy and so like into the process, I've been so focused on the present that I kind of let go of that control of trying to like lay out the future, if that kind of makes sense. Um, but the cool thing is, I think it makes me more open to what the future is because
Yeah.
the more I can have goals and I can have dreams and I can be proactive and work towards them, you feel me? But the more I just kind of let go and let life guide me, let the universe just kind of guide me, I've been
Mm,
finding the process so much more exciting to be kind of like, well, I wonder what tomorrow will bring. Like today is another great day, but a week from now, something can happen that I'm not even couldn't even imagine. I mean, that kind of happened with the rock song, kind of going viral right now. That song's been out for 2 years.
oh,
I dropped that
really?
song, yes, a lot of people don't know this. But that song came out 2 years ago. I dropped it in 2024. And before that, I dropped the R&B version. I made the R&B version first.
Mm,
And I kind of was just inspired to make it into a rock song. I also love rock music. And so I took the chance of just like, let's make this whole song a rock song. I released it. And it didn't really have a lot of attention or motion behind it at the time. So I was like, well, I love it. I still think I would do rock again in the future, but let me just go ahead and focus on this album. And then it took off now. And so, like, it wasn't something I prepared for or was thinking about in the future part. I just was so locked in on the present that my
mm,
future already started laying out for me right before my
mm.
eyes. And so, like, I gained thousands and thousands of new fans, so much more
Yeah.
visibility. I've been having so many opportunities that I'm so blessed to have right now. Um, and that I feel like that came from letting go of trying to be in control of what my future is and just going with the flow and let the flow show me what kind of next steps do I take and what direction do I
Mm.
go. So
I
like
love that.
I think that my self, Rakiyah, and my character, the Cosmic Queen, I think there's so many more stories to tell. But what
Mm.
I'm looking forward to the most is the world building. So I've been world building my whole career since I first dropped my EP.
Yeah.
Um, I'm excited to continue world building in different ways. So I love sci-fi. I started in sci-fi. I think after this trilogy, I might lean more into fantasy, dabble in the fantasy world a little bit. I think I want to go. It's just so many ways I want to go. It's so many stories I feel like I want to tell. I want to drop my first rock project as well. I think people really love the rock song and they're like, please, can you drop more? When are you gonna drop more? Are you gonna drop more? So after this album, you know what I mean? I have to drop this album first. It has like a blend of alternative sounds on it. I think people would love it. Um, but after this album, I'm going to dabble back more into rock as well
Eh,
and give people a rock album. And I'm looking forward to that. So I think that is something I'm like being intentional about. I'm like, yo, when it's time to drop this rock album, like what story do I
Yes.
want to tell? What world buildings do I want to lean into? Do I want to go into fantasy more, even with this rock album? Do I want to be dark and sexy? Like I'm excited. I think I'm just finding peace and being creative not for the
Yeah.
first time, but kind of for the first time. It's been hard. This journey being an artist has been way more challenging than being an aerospace engineer. Like I genuinely
Mm.
try to tell people that this has been the most challenging career I've ever dabbled in. Because it's not the same structure. It has so many unknown variables. It requires, you building fans and all these things, and you still got to have a livelihood on top of that. So you're like, oh my gosh, how do I get all of these things to happen? But I'm in a place now where I feel so good. I feel like I'm there now. And I know that is only just going to keep going and going and getting bigger and bigger. And so I'm just kind of like sitting. I decided to just take a seat on the roller coaster ride instead of trying to be the driver. Oh, what's going to happen? I need to do this. I need to do that. No, I'm just going to chill in the passenger seat. And since I chilled in the passenger seat, I feel like so many more things are like happening for me. So it's like, why would I fight the flow? I'm just gonna go with it more and more and just kind of like swing with the waves and trying to fight against the current. If that makes sense.
No, it does. I think sometimes we try to write our own ending when we are not the authors.
Right? You know what I mean? I was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, is this is this play about us? Like,
No.
I was like, wait, okay, it's not okay. I'll
Right.
sit back.
Right.
I'll let go. I'll let go. I'm just gonna do my part. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just focus on doing my part.
The point about your song being 2 years old and like now it's having its moment, that says a lot about planting and sowing seeds. Like
Hmm.
why it is like important to like focus on the here and now, because like you said, you never know. You have to, if you were worried about like I gotta make this song that trends and I gotta da 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 da, you probably would have never made this one that's trending now when right when you needed it, you know. So
Right. And it
yeah.
was just like the timing. I think the lesson I got from it is everything will happen on its right time.
Mm,
2 years ago, I thought that was like, I was like, man, I think this record is crazy. I think it's gonna be my record that changed my life. And
mm,
I think it is the record that has started to change my life, but it wasn't when I wanted it to happen. It wasn't when I thought it was gonna happen. two
mm,
years later happened, and I think it happened at the right time. Like the opportunities and the growth and the relationships I've built from all of this is pouring in right at the right time of my album, which also took time. Like I was supposed to drop this album 2 years ago,
oh
and then things just kept happening and
yeah,
things just kept going, and like so many things out of my control kind of prolonged the process of the album. But no long I don't no longer look at it as like, oh man, I'm late and I'm behind and I didn't
yeah,
get to finish it in time. Like same thing about the rock song dropping 2 years ago. Now it's like, oh, it was supposed to all happen just like this. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Where this motion from the rock song introducing me to so many people where it feels like I'm finally being seen
mm,
right before I do the big album.
yes,
I don't know, like
yeah,
clearly that's how it's supposed to happen. So this is why I said I shut up and I just sit in that passenger seat because
mm,
it's just funner that way to kind of like let let things happen the way it's supposed to happen. And if when
Yeah.
things don't happen at the time, look at it as kind of like divine intervention, or I wasn't supposed to do that thing. I wasn't supposed to work with this person, or I was supposed to sign this thing. Like everything kind of happens in its own way for a reason. I just hope that I have the tools and the ability to get through each trial and tribulation. That's all I can ask for because they're going to happen. They're going to keep happening. So I'm
Oh,
just like, I just want to be able to navigate in the most healthiest,
mm,
happiest way in this journey and stay protected.
yeah. Yeah. And heavy on the stay protected because sometimes learning through being independent will like help you for when like people do come, like, you know,
Right.
like, oh, we see this vision, da 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 da. Like you'll have this, like, I was able to do this on my own and this on my own and this on my own. So what will you be?
Right. So what will you do? Hello. But again, that's something that like I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the timeline of everything because I know my business, right?
Mm,
I know myself. I know my expression, but I'm also humble and willing to learn. I want to learn from other people. I want other people's, opinions and to be involved in this process. Like it takes a village, I think, to get to the next level. But I'm grateful that yeah, I did do every cover you see. The previous covers, all I've had, I've edited those. I've done all my videos, my content planning, a lot, my merch. I've done all of those things. And so now because I know what that feels like, it
mm.
it'll feel better to then let go and have other people involved in the right time. You know what I mean? I don't
And
want to do everything forever.
then
But
the backlog of your creativity to pull from also. I think so
mhm.
it's good what you're doing. Like I love that did you design like the shirts that say Rakiyah in like that silvery font, that silvery rock? Is it a shirt? There's like something I saw. It was like this silvery rock looking, maybe it's the banner for your YouTube. Did you design that? Your YouTube banner. It's so cute.
Oh, wait, you talking about was it the YouTube banner? Is it blue with a chrome heart?
Yes, yes, it's chrome. Yes, yes,
I
yes.
didn't make the chrome heart, but I did. Yeah, like I made the
Okay.
graphic,
I was,
but I did not design that chrome heart myself.
oh, okay,
No, no,
okay.
no, no, no. Your girl ain't. Hold on. I've been wanting to get in the blender, but I'm just like I don't think I have
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
But yeah, 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 yeah.
But
But
yeah, no.
all my other musical graphics and like previous merch and stuff like that, like I've done all my merch boxes for fans and posters and t-shirts, I've done most of all of that stuff. So I'm very, very hands-on. You
Yeah.
do what you got to do so that it gets done. I don't want to not be able to have these things because there's no one else I can go to or I can't afford to have someone else do it. I'm just gonna do it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mm,
And it's fun too. It's fun. I enjoy graphic design and editing and all that stuff. I love film, so like I love being hands-on in my process. It feels good. It's kind of my own expression whenever I'm not doing the music. It
mm.
still is my comfort zone, I think, just being creative in general.
Yeah. And we can tell, like, in everything you do. Yep. He's gonna be a superstar. So, yeah, when you said yes to there, I was like, I was like,
Yes, of course. I was like, oh, I'm in there and I'll be here all the time. If I can do it, I will do this over and over again. Any other events you're doing or any way to support, I'm down to support. I would love to also support you and buy your books. I need to add you to my to be reads list.
ah.
Um, yeah, yeah, I would love to. You're doing an amazing job. You're an amazing author. You are doing something that really, really matters for the space of Black women and people, and I want to commend you for that and thank you for that. So, of course,
That's
I
how I feel
said yes to
about
the
you.
dress.
That's how I feel about you. As soon as I heard video nine, I was like, yeah. I was like, it's my thing.
Which I'm excited because I'm shooting the music video for that finally
Mm.
this upcoming weekend, this next
Oh,
weekend. So I'm excited when I go back to Jersey.
definitely shoot a behind the scenes too. I want to see how
Oh,
all.
oh, you guys know I have listen, we're getting BTS footage, we're getting it documented. Like this is all a really cool, amazing thing. I'm excited. I had some hiccups at first trying to do it, but I was
Yeah.
able to like hit up a great friend to hop in on the project with me.
Mm,
Um, I'm super excited. Like we're kind of still going this all like Alice in Wonderland around time concept and
yeah.
everything. So like it's gonna look so good. Ah, I'm so
I,
excited. I can't wait.
I cannot wait. You're actually the first song on our main character music playlist. So we have a playlist on Spotify. Yeah. Yeah.
What? Thank you. You gotta send me that link because I put all the playlists that
Mm,
people have made and featured me on. I put it on my actual Spotify artist account. So I would love to
okay,
put
yeah.
it there as well.
That's you because the people are loving it. So now, as we wrap up, where can people find you? Where can they,
Mm,
how can they support you?
amazing. My music is streaming on all music platforms. So whether you do Spotify or Deezer or YouTube or Amazon Music. My music is everywhere as Rakiyah. Um, the link in my bio will also show you like all of my platforms that I'm on. We have a fandom Discord. If you're new here, my fans are called the Rockets, like rocket ships taking off. You know, they voted for that. We voted for that like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So my fans are called the Rockets. We have a fandom Discord channel. And in that channel, we have like sections for those who want to talk about K-pop, K-drama, anime, their
Mm,
photography pictures, dances, cosplays, as well as books that we read. So if you want to join there, it's a safe space for everyone. You know what I mean? I'm also in there. I'm pretty active. We have the Instagram broadcast channel. Team Rocket, and I have my own website with merch on it as well. I'm going to be restocking, so don't worry if you don't see some things in stock right now, but I will be restocking a couple of CDs and photo cards next week. And what else? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna make sure I'm running it all down.
oh.
Yeah, guys, I'm just everywhere on the internet. If you want to tap into my YouTube channel, I have my music YouTube channel, but I have my creative YouTube channel called Rakiyah's World. It still has some of my old Korean language learning videos, which it's so cringy when I look at it now, but hey, have fun. There's still some up there. And then
Yeah.
my current series is also on that channel, and I will still be posting on this channel, Rakiyah's World as well. So I'm excited. Oh, and TikTok. You guys can follow me on TikTok, Rakiyah in Space. Um, yeah, I go on TikTok live whenever I'm free and I sing live. So definitely, tap in, join, and we have a good time every time. But yeah, any way you like to support me, I'm super appreciative. So thank you guys
You heard,
again.
y'all follow her. She has an amazing voice and an amazing spirit because, like, you
Thank
can
you.
just tell. You just tell when someone's cool. You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us. Um,
I'm
and
appreciative.
have a great rest of your evening. I'm gonna post these replays and I'm gonna send them out to ticket holders. So y'all look
Okay,
out for that.
awesome.
All
Amazing. I
right.
appreciate that as well. Well, thank you so much. And everyone's tuning in. Thank you.